All right, so welcome back everyone to our 300 Blackout bullet discussion. So we should be on part 4 now. We've kind of moved up the ladder in terms of the weights of the different bullets. And so now we're kind of probably getting into the range where we'd pretty much be kind of maxing out in terms of what's going to be supersonic. We could maybe go a little bit heavier. I'd have to look at the data, maybe up to 175 grain or some 180 grain bullets, and maybe still be able to keep it supersonic easily. But once we start getting up here, obviously with the heavier weight bullets, the speeds are going to drop, and so it's going to start to be a little bit of a different story. So why would we maybe go this route in terms of loading these with 300 Blackout? Well, one thing is simply availability. So you kind of have to use what you might have. For me, for instance, like years ago, I bought these Sierra 30 cal 308 168 grain hollow point bow tail match bullets, and I've still got tons of them sitting on the shelf. This is an open box that's been open for a while. I've loaded these in both 308 and 7.5 Swiss. Pretty good bullets. Nobody really complains about them. I mean, it's pretty decent bullet overall. And then so this is one of those deals where well, why would we load these? Well, yeah, availability. So if I have these sitting on the shelf, maybe I can make them work. So the way I kind of look at it is that, hey, maybe I could use this, for just general purpose target shooting, or maybe I'm shooting a 2-gun match, and like at the range that I compete at, because of the limitations of the range, the distances are not long, so you're not really shooting out much beyond 50 yards currently with the limitations they have there. So this would be a thing where, hey, if this is accurate out to 50 yards or whatever, okay, I can use that, and hey, a good day, no problem. I saw Johnny's reloading bench. I remember watching a video, I think a couple months ago, where he loaded these, and they seem to be pretty accurate. So I think the feet per second, it's probably going to be like 1,500, 1,600 feet per second probably. So it's not going to be a real screamer of a bullet. But again, if you're looking for an accurate load and we can make this work, then hey, we'll go ahead and do it. So I'd like to take these and maybe work up a load with them and kind of see what we can get with them. And, if it's going to be a nice little accurate load, I can just kind of have that sitting on the side there, to where if I want to use it in a match or whatever, I can. So yeah, so that's always an option. Then the other thing is, a number of years ago, I picked up these Hornady SST 165 grain bullets. And initially, I was kind of planning on loading these in 308. And I don't even remember why I picked them up. Maybe it was just the thing where availability or whatever, I was going to try them out and kind of see how they do. My understanding is the SST bullet, that kind of needs about 1,600 feet per second for that to expand. If I'm wrong on that, somebody correct me. But it's another deal where, hey, if I have to make these work, I can. So it's another thing where with these heavier grain bullets and the velocities we're shooting them at, we're not going to be able to shoot them far before they start acting like a mortar, So it's going to be a thing where within 50 yards, it's probably going to fly straight enough, maybe even out to 100. But, this is not something where we're going to bomb this down range, at 300 or 400 yards without having to fire the thing like a mortar. So probably once we start getting into these heavier grain bullets, it's going to be a deal where, yeah, it's more of a close range thing. But again, if we can get enough velocity out of these and maybe get them up to 1,600 feet per second, 1,700 feet per second, I don't know, either target shooting or hunting or whatever, or it's just the thing of, like I've been in this position before with reloading, where this is what's on the shelf basically, and we have to make this work. So if we want to shoot it all, then we just got to grab whatever bullet we can get and work up a load for it, and then make it happen. So that's why it's a lot of times it's good to do a little bit of load development and kind of put your data down on paper. So now that I've been reloading 300 Blackout now for 7-8 years, whatever it's been, 7-8 years now, you start to kind of get all those experiences cataloged, and you get data from chronographs, and you kind of know what powders work for you and all that, and what options you have. And so when things are tight, then you can kind of dip into that base of knowledge and kind of make things like this work if you have to. So that's all the heavier grain bullets I have that I would load for 300 Blackout. Now, one thing that I did not get into, and that we won't get into probably anytime soon, is Subsonic. So for me, shooting Subsonic with 300 Blackout, that's kind of a thing where, okay, that's cool. I've shot 300 Blackout suppressed full auto, and yeah, it is really cool to do that. Definitely the noise and the muzzle blast and all that, especially shooting with a suppressor, very quiet. So it's kind of a cool thing to do, but again, shooting Subsonic, it's a thing where definitely you're not really shooting beyond 50 yards or 100 yards with those. And that's kind of an area where once I do get a suppressor with 300 Blackout, maybe we'll start visiting that whole discussion around shooting Subsonic with 300 Blackout and kind of see what results we get. I have to say, so far I've not found affordable bullets for Subsonic that I like. I know there's a lot of poly-coated bullets out there that people use and stuff. I'm not sure kind of what to think about those, if I want to get into that or not. But yeah, Subsonic is something that definitely I might look at when I get a suppressor and kind of see what I can do with it. But for my focus with 300 Blackout, it's basically keeping those bullets supersonic, and I'm pretty good with that. So again, the Subsonic thing is maybe something to visit down the road. Okay, so any questions or comments, any additional information you want to provide, or anything else throw out there, feel free to do so. I'm always open to new ideas, so definitely with 300 Blackout, there's a lot of options that you have in terms of bullets you can load. So all right, well, y'all have a good one. Thanks.